Dominion would have never been so generous.
Because I will never give it to you. What the hell do you want from me? Let's pretend that the Major's not even here.
Judge Sisko hands down another ruling.
Yep. Hello and good evening on this, is it Tuesday, December 13th, 2022. We are talking about Deep Space Nine, Season 6, Episode 11, Waltz, released in January 1998. Here we are 25 years later talking about the episode on Live Long and Podcast on our ongoing series to rewatch every episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine and talk about it, review it, and break it all down. I'm Dave Mader. Joining me, Jaemeel Robinson. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm doing all right. Happy to be here. How happy am I here to be? Evidence! The smile on my face.
Evidence!
The smile on my face is the evidence.
Yes. This episode is Sisko and Dukat in a cave for 40 minutes. It is a great episode of Star Trek and just TV, and two actors chewing up the scenery. There's some other minor scenes. We cut away to Worf and Dax and O'Brien and the rest here and there, but it's mainly Mark Alimo and Avery Brooks, and a little bit of like Dukat's like hallucinations in the form of Jeffrey Combs as Wayun, Nana visitor, of course, is Kira, and Damar, as played by Richard Casey. Is that right?
Dave, you're the quiz master.
Who plays? I don't think
I
that's
default to you.
Who plays Damar? Casey Bakes. I'm sorry. So.
Oh, you were so far away from that.
I got the Casey part, but
yes, you did. I was being sarcastic.
Yeah,
you did a great job.
Oh, thank you. So, hey, how was this rewatch for you? Oh,
perfect timing.
Kevin's coming in. Hold that thought, Jaemeel. Kevin Millard coming to us live here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might listen to the audio version. Hey.
Oh, good. It's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds late.
Yeah. We just got started. Your entrance, very apropos, if you will. So, how are you doing tonight, Kevin?
Excellent.
Good. How'd you like Waltz? Were you
It
watching
is
Waltz?
a fantastic episode. Dukat having a mental breakdown, that's the best. How could that not be gold?
Yeah, I gotta say, like Kira in this episode in particular, like the hallucinations of Kira, amazing. It's so funny. In her parts, that really stuck out to me. I think at one point I have her laughing. Where is that?
You are such a fool!
She's so good. It's so funny.
You're keeping that for trivial debates too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, guys, I gotta tell you, I have an unhealthy obsession with this episode. This episode is amazing. Okay, we got to talk about it. It's like, okay, just off the blat, there's this great shot here of the USS Honshu, a Nebula class ship, and it looks so good in this rewatch I did today with this high def version. With we get the captain's log on the USS Honshu. I've been here for 2 days and I still haven't seen him. This is the captain's log we come in on, but just to appreciate the ship, Jaemeel. NCC 80265, I think. This ship will get blown up in the next 10 minutes here or less than. But it's look, I thought it looked good.
Yes, looks like a good ship. It's a sturdy ship.
It's got the mission pod up here. The interchangeable modular thing, Kevin, that they do with the with these kind of class ships for the put like a tactical thing on top during wartime. We might have like a science thing, a greenhouse or something in a different mission or a science mission. So it's a little different. But anyway,
which makes sense that they would have more module ships. It's a shame we don't see that carry on.
Too bad we didn't see like how this ship got completely smoked though by the Cardassians, and we never got to really see how that played out. It was just like they were in the room talking, all of a sudden the ship's attacked and it's going on. But
The room shook, and then the ship was gone.
yeah, it was just like and credits, and guess what? Crash.
Well, you know what? Like, they probably put it together and they looked at the episode and they're like, well, we could show it, but
We could cut this other part out. Or...
we could cut it out, save that special effects money for later down the line, which, hey, you know, these episodes don't need special effects, really. Like,
No, this one didn't.
It
didn't need it. I just
Yeah.
I guess it's a little extra. I wouldn't mind having. Is this the lieutenant that we're told went with them for like 4 feet before like
probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
He probably stood just outside.
Before Ducat buried something into his skull. Yeah.
Yeah, like, we don't even know. Like, we most certainly cannot trust what Ducat told us happened. So because but we see here this huge reveal. This episode directed by Rene Auberjonois, Odo himself. He's this reveal here of Marco Limo is Ducat. We haven't seen him in about 6 or 7 episodes, I think, since they retook the station. And there he is, and he's looking up at Cisco, and this episode's a lot of them just glaring at each other. Mm-hmm. There's a kind of this ongoing. I look at you, you look at me. It's good dialogue. They discuss his mental recovery. The doctors are saying he did so well. What happened, guys? Why did it go so bad after this attack? Ducat was so much better. He had just fooled the doctors. He just fooled the doctors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cardassians are manipulative.
Yeah. And Wei Yun kind of references situations in the past of him curled up in a ball crying. Like,
He's like, you don't want to remember that at the hospital, do you? You crying for your mommy or whatever. He was like, he wouldn't respect you then. Yeah, and so this whole episode is really about Ducat. Like, it's a Cisco episode, very much so, and that Cisco is the lead of this show. But this episode is even more about Ducat than Cisco. Because Cisco just resolves to be himself, and Ducat has to eventually just comes to terms. I'm a madman. I should kill them all. I was, at least it's sort of.
But you notice, I mean, this is jumping way ahead to the end of the episode, but you notice that Cisco is the one that turns him that way, gets him thinking that way.
No, I think he's come to terms. He's come to terms with the situation.
I think the parts where Cisco does it later in the episode is just to okay, I'm in trouble here. This guy is crazy and he might kill me, and I need to try to play along if I can. But yeah, I think
no way. You wait till we get to the screenshots. You look at the look on Cisco's face when he's like, "You should have done it. You should have." He's egging him on. He's like, "Yeah, I know who you are, and I'm gonna make you face it."
Right. I like, but that the way Cisco is always just so. What do you want, man? With him, and Ducat's always so eager. He's like, "Hello, I am your nemesis." Right? And I'm happy to be your nemesis.
I'm your nemesis and best friend.
And best friend. We're frenemies. It's kind of and Cisco really doesn't want it. He's just like, I don't know. You're innocent until proven guilty. I'll tell them when I know at the tribunal. And then it's like, and the whole thing about Zial. They kind of had this. They kind of do have a past, a little bit, a connection through her.
Sure.
And so, they've been through some shit together. But on the other hand, Ducat's a madman and a complete murderer. And the fact that they even
shit they've been through together was because of Ducat.
Right. Well, the Ducat did ferry them to the Gowron mission that one time.
Yeah.
That's about the one thing I can remember Ducat doing sort of for him. But even during that, he was a complete pain in the ass to Cisco too. And he was barely.
He looks at Cisco as a contemporary, and
right.
he associates that with some kind of friendship as being a fellow, like an adversary. It's like, oh, we spent so much time trading barbs. You won some, I won some kind of situation, and it just kind of laughs at it overall. That's what he's come to at this point. And, Sisko doesn't see it that way at all. He's just, a person that he's overcome and not really, this part of his life that, Dukat, who has basically almost everything stripped away, he's now grasping at whatever he can left.
You're never going to find Sisko sitting in his quarters staring at a picture of Dukat and reminiscing about the old days.
No. No, not at all. But the whole thing where he left the baseball and like he got in Sisko got in Ducat's head more than the other way around for sure. Just a couple comments here. Sam's loving the graphics. Thanks, Sam. X-Men podcast, our fellow Federation member, they want to have this dance. Tonight we're doing their Storm interview. Very exciting. That's exciting. I can't wait to see that. Congratulations over to the X-Rated podcast for another great interview. I can't wait to hear it. And left them their. What does he mean?
No idea.
All right.
But ask Kevin. When are we getting the X-Men? It's Kevin.
What?
Kevin from She-Hulk. Kevin. Okay, you ever watch She-Hulk?
I have not.
Okay. Spoiler.
All right.
The people who did, they thought that was pretty clever. Thank you.
Let's get back to the episode. Waltz, as it's named, which starts off after the credits with Kira and Odo coming out of the office, and they come out to deliver the news here to Worf and Dax and Bashir, and O'Brien eventually wanders over and say, yep, the Honshu was destroyed. A couple, there may have been a couple survivors, but it's not great news. Their last known location was here. The Defiant and one other ship are the only search ships. Like that, it's not great news for the team here. And that they only have so many hours because then they also have to go defend this convoy, which is got thousands of troops and it has to get through the Badlands, and like it's Sisko's life versus thousands of people is not.
This always gets me. Why has the Federation got so few ships all the time?
They're getting blown up lately.
How are they a power in the quadrant with no ships?
They're losing ships in the war.
Kevin, I disagree even further. Why don't they have like a string of runabouts and just split up, right? Yeah. They have two ships. One ship could obviously support a ton of runabouts, maybe even 6, and they cover more of the quadrant. It makes no sense. We're just going to stick to 2 ships. That's it. Like the runabouts don't have sensors.
Because Ronald D. Moore said so. That's what this episode gets, and that's how he wrote it. Is kind of the real answer. But
it's like, oh, the Federation has restraints on in terms of the amount of ships they can make or runabouts that they can have at a given time. Right? Like, you don't hear any of it, but they put themselves into these situations. You know what? I'll say it. They deserve to lose. They deserve to lose if they put themselves in this position.
Also, there's a convoy of troops.
The troops that fight the
What are they
Jem'Hadar.
putting the troops on?
The planets, like
just put them on good ships.
But the ships are undefended.
Sometimes you gotta defend.
So they just have bodies of people, troops, just on ships.
Marines,
no way to defend themselves.
Makos. Kevin, we're just getting to the Makos in the Starfleet Marines in the next one. So of Enterprise.
So they're just sitting in freighters, just chilling.
They get out of the ship and they fight and they, whatever.
So
presumably.
what you're saying, but they can't defend themselves though.
In space?
Where do you think they are? They're like, we're a specialized group of trained fighters. This is a water planet. Sorry, I only fight on land. Or like it
I don't
just
know,
seems so
like-
specialized. It doesn't make sense. Majority of fighting happens in space. Why would you have a group of people, troops, who can't defend themselves in space? It makes no sense to me.
Like I would buy it if it was a convoy of supplies, but this
It's probably a really big ship. It's not maneuverable, and you need a smaller ship like the Defiant to help defend it.
So like a dreadnought.
Well, that is a reality of naval warfare, So I'm just saying.
They say it's defenseless, like it has no defenses.
That's weird, but I feel like it should have some weapons on it. Yeah, sure.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page.
I'm with you on that. Let's get some weapons on those ships. Like, let's not leave it all up to the Defiant. But we need to talk about that scene as well, which is when the whole thing with Bashir confronts Worf about his honor and all that. I'm like, Bashir, you can take a walk, bud. Screw you. Anyway, so we come here and then we see it's because the whole deadline was established. They did all the table setting, the Defiant's on the search, and they only have so many hours, and then they have to go.
52.
And then I feel like then they go to the next scene, and it's Dukat and Sisko waking up in this cave. Sisko does not remember much. His arm is shattered here, guys. Dukat is nursing him back to health.
Doesn't know how to use a bone replicate. Not bone replicator. It's what do they call it? Bone regenerator. But he could set a cast, which just seems very strange that he would not know how.
I think he did it on purpose.
Probably, yeah, definitely right.
Anyway, he gives him water here. He's helping him. He's being nice to him, trying to get him to Sisko's in a vulnerable position as it is. He's burned and broken, shattered arm, right, with many places.
60% of his body plasma burns.
Okay, yeah, he's having a rough one.
But not his face, really.
Not his face or, his right hand.
Visible. Anything where they'd have to do makeup.
Yeah. So wait, did that mean did the cut change him?
Maybe.
How did he know it was 60% of his body?
Tricorder?
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, I went immediately to the worst case scenario. I'm sorry, Dave.
Well, I don't know. I'm going best case scenario. I'm just being more it's okay to look at it from both sides. But here, he says, I've sent out a distress call, Sisko. It's a general one. And it's, maybe the Dominion picks us up, maybe the Federation. Who knows? The other one's the captor, one's the prisoner. Or the whatever. You know what I mean. So, and how about that? And so Sisko sees that, I guess, he's not in a great position to argue with or deal with this, because he's kind of
R2D2'd.
He's hurt, yeah.
He's R2D2'd. Look at his arm.
Yeah, he leaves. Yeah, his arm. Yeah,
he's like R2. Sorry, C-3PO. What am I saying? Jeez, 3PO.
I was like, I don't know what. He doesn't seem like an R2D2. But
3PO. He got the 3PO.
Anyway, and then we see the first scene here after he kind of makes Sisko feel good. Then Weyoun's like, hello, you need to kill him. And I guess we're like, at first we're like, is this the real Weyoun? We don't really, I think on first viewing, it's intended you don't know if this is Weyoun or not, or what's going on here.
Right.
And then, he's like, you need to kill him. He's like, that's not necessary. And then he starts ridiculing him, making fun of him. I think you gradually are meant to realize this isn't the real Weyoun.
Well, yeah, when Weyoun's talking about the doctor and how he was curled up in a ball, I mean, how would Weyoun know any of that? You'd know at that point it's...
Right.
And Weyoun is never this aggressive.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
He's more sly and more... His cuts are smooth. They're smooth cuts, but they cut deep. Right? This one was like blunt force.
Yeah, Dukat did not like it. He goes a little nuts here with the phaser. Sisko doesn't hear this, apparently.
He's way in the caves. He's way in the caves.
He's too far away. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
like
the next
echo or anything.
This is like the next day or something. Like I don't know how many hours later this is meant to be, but it's a while. And Ducat is making breakfast here.
Yep.
I love this whole thing with the soup.
Oh,
Cisco won't even give him a compliment on his soup. Like he's like, it's fine.
No, he says,
Salt.
"What's this salt and pepper?" He goes,
Oh yeah. Hey,
better.
I'm
Not
getting
even good.
better, Neil, thank you.
Pardon me.
You're not the only officer who learned how to cook, you know.
Not cook well.
apparently Ducat can cook. He's like, you need salt and pepper. You know, let's get some seasoning in here, Ducat.
Just imagine the emergency ration kit: salt and pepper.
Salt I get, pepper I don't. Salt is necessary for life, but pepper?
Apparently Cisco had been throwing up all night too and didn't even remember this.
Yeah, probably not true.
Probably the first attempt at cooking.
Yeah, probably not true. He's like, you don't remember? I cleaned up the thing. And you remember in my old days when I was on Freshly Minute Glen, I had to clean up a decompression thing or something. Like, and he's like, let's change the subject, right?
The emissary has spoken.
Yeah.
And there's that resentment.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
My dear old friend.
you know, it's going on and on. But it's like, fine, I'll have your soup. And then Ducat's starting to hear the voices. He's starting to kind of display this in front of Cisco in this part of the episode. He's like, are you hearing something? He's like, it's just the wind. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Needs salt.
That needs salt.
Get in the ration packs. He gets it and put it in his soup.
That's such a power move, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's why I love it so much. He will not give Ducat anything.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, pepper. Oh, what is that? Yeah, he says,
If you only want me to tell you what you want to hear, just say so.
Oh my gosh. He seems like purposely trying to agitate this man.
Yeah.
he's like, did like Quark and Odo and Kira tell you how awesome I was this last time? Like, that was really good.
My policies toward the Bajorans were most generous this time.
Yeah, and he doesn't even give him that. He's like, yeah, I hear Wei Yun made sure of that.
Yeah, Who was running the show, I heard, you know. He's like, are you going to put that in my soup now? You know?
Are you just going to hold it? Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
And then he says,
yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, is it good now? Is my soup good? You know? Oh, we got Davan coming in here.
Yes. We're in the nog.
Davan Skelhorn.
Oh, can't hear him, though.
Without audio. Coming off of his Storm interview.
Yes.
Can't hear what he's saying, but
He said, wait a second.
He's
But you
figured
know
it
what? He knows who Kevin is. He knows Kevin.
I'm also confused with Kevin. So,
out.
I
Okay.
thought I swear you would have checked out the wikis, but
Hey, yo.
hey,
There you are.
quick
Kevin's right on
question.
the money tonight. Kevin understands what's going on here.
Which one? You talking about this one?
No, I'm talking about this one. I can never point the right way on the camera.
But you know who Kevin is.
Who's that?
Nope.
Kevin.
No,
Okay. Oh, yeah, I know Kevin.
okay.
Like the robotic Kevin Feige.
Yes.
Yeah, I know Kevin.
from the
He's
She-Hulk.
running the show.
Yep. These muggles here haven't watched it yet.
Muggles.
We're supposed to be doing a Marvel show coming up here, Dave. Better get on it.
The Mary Marvel Mater Society?
The Mary Mater Marvel Society.
Oh, the Mary Mater Marvel Society.
Jeez.
We're working- it's working
I swear, please rethink the name, okay? I don't think it works.
It's a play off of the Mary Marvel Marching Society. It has
Yeah.
historical context.
You mean the Make Mine Marvel, or...
No, back in the day, the fans of Marvel and their books and stuff were called the Mary Marvel Marching Society.
And Stanley also had the Make Mine Marvel was
Big
part of the
mind
letter section. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Anyway, I just came to explain my comment you guys brought up, and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. Dave's
and
just like,
left in
it
there.
was
lol.
because Dave was all like, oh, but Ducat, he drove them to the planet that time. That was kind of nice. I'm like, yeah, but he abandoned them there, and he told
Yeah,
them
he
he wasn't
did.
going to drive them home. That's
Oh,
what I
yeah.
was talking about.
Oh, and left them there. Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah,
I
he just
see.
left
I
them
get it.
there.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. He was like,
Where are you
"Oh,
going to
well,
be? He's like, oh, I'm not going to be here.
yeah, I can't stay here. So good luck." And he was like, if the mission works, they'll just bring you home anyway. And if it doesn't, you'll be dead. So who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like that was the
Good
nicest thing
friends.
he ever did for him.
Good friends,
Your
Benjamin
dear-
and I.
Yeah.
My dear old friend.
No, but Kevin's right, though. Cisco's egging him on hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Kevin's muted. So.
Oh.
Kevin's muted.
Yeah, the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, the whole time. Yeah. Mind games with Ducat Day.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
He doesn't.
Getting along just like the two old friends that they really are.
Yeah.
We're two old friends, Benjamin. Like
He's
you know.
so thirsty. Like
Yeah.
he's so thirsty. It's ridiculous.
I want to see Ducat at a club with this thirst.
Tried so hard.
Dancing up on every Bajoran he can find.
Where's that?
I have some canard at the bar.
And the broken, wrinkled noses.
Such an incel. Such an incel.
That's a nice guy post right there.
Yeah. I'm a nice guy. And they still won't date me.
He definitely has that energy to him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, hold on, I have to go through. You know, he's just like, this guy. What's up with this guy? And then we see Damar, guys. Damar is the hallucination in here, and he's like, you need to kill him for Cardassia. You can't afford to, let us down. We can't. We need you to win the war for the homeland, right? You know,
And
he's
then
like,
breaks down the plan. If we kill the emissary, the Bajorans will lose faith, and they'll be more easy to subjugate.
And Cisco's or Ducat's just like, listen, Damar, who's really just me talking to myself, that it'll be fine because he's like, so he's in no state to fight me. I'm in control. So anyway, and then this is where Cisco opens up the transmitter and he figures out that this thing is offline secretly. Ducat has rigged this whole thing. Turns out that the shuttle is in complete working order too. We find out that later. That out later.
Well, yeah,
too.
Kevin was also right. The puking, totally bullshit. There was
Yeah, and Ducat definitely killed that other guy.
100% killed that other guy.
Yeah.
Shrapnel hit him in the head. The shrapnel did it.
But I wish they showed us that, like the fact that we never really get confirmation. What
Well, I like all this mystery. Like all this stuff Ducat's saying is happening and how none of it's probably ever happening. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Stuff.
It's a great episode. I really enjoy it. You know, Cisco seeing the offline here. You know, huh?
He's like, oh damn.
Awesome here, and he's just like, and then he's like, listen, Damar, you have some good suggestions, but in due time, you know.
I love though that Cisco here is like, okay, I'm not going to accuse him. I'm going to just see if he's stupid or if he's lying.
If he's lying to me. Right?
Which
Like,
at that point, all Ducat had to do was like, oh shoot, something did go wrong. Let me fix it. Okay, it's working again, right? Like if we just admitted that there was something wrong at that exact moment, right? I still think we would have ended up Cisco still not trusting him, but at the very least, it would have been a little bit more plausible that his ruse could have lasted maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, and then Cisco's like, okay, he sees it. I'm sure he sees it now. You know, he's like, hey, it's all good, man. Uh-huh.
I love too. The diagnostic only took 8 seconds.
It's like, yeah, don't worry. All right, you don't need the extended warranty. Trust me, open box is totally gonna be fine.
We get a quick scene over here with the Davan. It was just a quick log. It's just a log. It's just like Worf's log. We can't find him yet. We're still looking.
Still looking.
Looking. Yeah, it's just a very quick like sidebar, and then we're back to Cisco, who's like broken off a piece of the fork that he's using here to like get the transmitter working again. Just sure. It kind of doesn't work right away, and he has to like put some work into it.
So, Dave, what you're saying is Cisco was able to fix it with a box of scraps?
Box of scraps in a cave. He's literally in a cave. He's just like a Tony Stark. He was Tony Stark before Tony Stark. And then like O'Brien's like, oh, I got a distress call, Commander. But it's not his.
Which I thought was like a clever like narrative. Yeah, it's awesome.
Because right when you think they're gonna rescue him, it's like that's when Cisco beats him with a pipe, or no, Dukat beats Cisco with a pipe. It's just like this is as much coming up, but this is the part where Dukat's still trying to be Fred and bringing him like a pillow. He's like, here, I got you like a little comfort from the shuttle. I guess he brought this. You're like, isn't this great?
There should have been
Look
like
how nice I am.
If this was a different show, there'd be a montage in his mind of like, wouldn't this be nice with him and Cisco just doing stuff?
They'd be playing catch,
bosom buddies, maybe.
Yeah,
playing catch, going out shopping together,
running on the beach, on a tandem bike. Cisco,
I can't believe I forgot about the tandem bike.
Cisco giving Dukat food and Dukat going, and then Dukat giving Cisco food, and he's like,
Need salt.
The Bajor just like awarding Dukat like a key to Bajor, and Cisco like applauding from the audience, going, I knew it. Like all the things Dukat dreams of.
Yeah, I'm with you. Here in this next shot, we have Kira when she enters into the episode, like as his final like I don't know, hallucination. The person he sees who's feeding him his version of the prophets, maybe.
Hallucination.
Yeah,
Which
the best
you
one
know,
is Kira, who hates him.
Yes, but what you were saying about like the different people being like the prophets.
Yeah. Like the pot race.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be.
One thing she says here.
I'll tell you what I think. I think you're an evil, sadistic man who should have been tried as a war criminal years ago. Put up against a wall and shot.
I love the reaction.
Just like whatever, Cisco gets me. He gets me, Nerys. Don't be worried about it.
Nerys won't leave well enough alone. She's always interfering, always trying to upset me.
Which at this point you're looking at Cisco and he's like, "The fuck."
This is my favorite line of the whole show episode, though. Cisco's reply.
Do you have that, Dave?
Cisco's reply to what?
What Dukat just said. Let's pretend the Major.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have it. Where is it? Let's pretend the Major. Where is that? Sorry.
It's right there. Right there.
Right.
Yeah, right there. Just get it.
Let's pretend that the Major's not even here.
Cisco's just like, what the freak?
But he doesn't challenge the delusion at all. He's just like, oh, I could use this.
He's like, the Major. Oh, yes.
The Major. Let's pretend the Major's,
There's no reason to get upset. We're just talking.
We're just two guys in front of a campfire.
Yeah, just two guys in front.
Two old soldiers talking around the campfire.
like, you're not being honest with me, Benjamin. Come on. He's like, what do you think? You know? He's like, you're right. You had a tough gig, man, when you were on the head, the prefect of Bajor. It was hard. You know?
That's how thirsty Dukat is. He just eats it up right away. He's like, yes.
But he's not that stupid because one part of him knows he's lying.
Yeah.
Oh, you dumb bastard is basically what...
Yeah, she's in his face. Yeah, like this is she is great in all of this. You know how this all plays out. And Cisco is, especially when the fear when he's like, I am dealing with a madman. Like this is rough. He's like, hey, let's talk. We're talking to me, right? You know.
Let's pretend that the Major's not even here.
It's the best. That's one of my favorite lines in the whole show, actually. I friggin' eat that up every time.
This is maybe my favorite shot of Cisco and Kira in the whole show.
She's not really there.
She's not really there, and it's Cisco's fearing for his life. But look with a broken arm, looking up at the sky.
He's having a great time fucking with Dukat, though. Like, he's worried for his life, but he's having a great time.
He is enjoying this
as much as he can. Yeah. Within the confines of it all. And then we get a distress call. Oh no, we got the. We're gonna get them. This is the fake out, right?
There's two people on sensors. We're getting ready to beam them up.
Yeah.
How bad to be those two, right? Like everybody's just disappointed when they see you.
Yeah. Oh, it's the look that Bashir gives. He's like, it's not Cisco.
It's an ensign and a lieutenant. Like, jeez.
And he begrudgingly gives them medical attention.
Like, yes. Yes.
They're just Nerys getting here to Dukat before he goes mad, and he starts just shooting up the room. It shoots everywhere. Like Cisco is like legitimately terrified here. As Dukat just goes nuts on all of this, and Phaser. And then we get we're beaming them up. Here we go. Boom.
Womp womp.
Can we just look at this guy right here? He's like, oh no. These two.
What are you doing, Chief?
You beamed up the wrong people, Chief. We
don't even know these two.
Sorry. Anyway, so we gotta get going here, and it's not them. Yeah, this is the look. They're like, oh, not Cisco. Oh, not Cisco. Yeah, and so yes, and then we see the fork here is exposed, and Dukat sees it, and Cisco knows he's it's not looking good for him now. Yes, the crazy Dukat's like, what's this? Why would this happen to your fork?
It's just a bit uncomfortable under your.
Yeah, that's very uncomfortable, Benjamin. What's up with this? Why would you need a small piece of metal? What for? And then he goes, "Oh, you've been busy." I'm
sorry.
Then he goes, he shoots the transmitter here. Then we see that they lose the homing signal that they just got. Oh, but presumably they had a record of where it just was, so they can just follow
that. Hope so, right? But actually, so many times on Star Trek, when things disappear, they put their hands up and go, "Well, I don't fucking know."
It's gone, Captain.
It's right there. It's right there. I know you lost the signal, but just go back to where it was.
It's gone, Captain. It's gone, Captain. It's no longer showing up on sensors.
I get
Did anyone check the log?
But just because it's not transmitting doesn't mean you can't go to where you know it was before.
How many times did that happen to Data? Data, a freaking machine who can't just, I have a photographic memory because I was there and I was looking at the damn screen, so I know what we were looking at for that brief millisecond that was there, and I could just, put the picture back up and we could just use that. Nope. Sensors say it's gone. It's gone, sir. It's gone. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, well, that's what Dax is saying. She's like, I don't know what to do. And so after Dukat has destroyed the transmitter here, we see him pick up a piece of the transmitter's wreckage, which is like this pipe thing that basically he beats Cisco with. He proceeds, he's just like, well, the one thing I can't abide is betrayal.
If there's one thing I can't abide, it's betrayal.
And he beats him savagely.
Yeah, beats him savagely with a pipe. And then we get, but they don't show us all that. They just go back here to the Defiant, where it's Kira telling Worf, you got to go escort that helpless transport of people,
helpless transport of soldiers.
Of soldiers somewhere in the war effort, you got to break off the search. You have to go. And I think it's Bashir is just like, well, I couldn't understand what Kira said, right? Like we couldn't, it's who's to say? And Dax is like, no, we heard what the orders were, and O'Brien's like, oh yeah, that's right, Julian. I couldn't.
I didn't hear shit.
I didn't hear whatever she said. Who cares? Let's look for Cisco. Who cares about those troops, right? And Dax is like, it's Worf's call. You got to back up, Worf's like, no, we have to go save the military thing. Bashir disagrees. He says he doesn't care about honor. Doesn't care about the dishonorable thing to do. And he's like, well, then you can leave the bridge, Doctor, and you can take a walk.
This is one of the only times that Worf has solved a problem in an adult manner.
It was a real sign of maturity.
It was authoritative, and he was just like, you can leave the bridge. And it wasn't shitty. Like, he wasn't like, I hate you, get off the bridge. He was just like, you can go.
Coward! Get off the bridge.
Yeah, he was very like,
go to sick bay.
He's come a ways, come back to here where Dukat has to clean the blood off the pipe of he beat Cisco so much with this thing, who already had 60% plasma burns on his body, and a broken arm at least, or like a shattered arm really. And so he's like, you bring this on yourself. What does he say?
Brought it on yourself,
Just like all your victims.
Just like all your victims. It always comes back to me how evil I am,
It always comes back to that, doesn't it? All my crimes. I'm such a monster, such an evil man.
Yeah. But he thinks that Cisco is sanctimonious,
Behold,
That's the guy
Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah. He's like you're just what made you so great.
Behold, Benjamin Sisko, supreme arbiter of right and wrong in the universe. A man of such high moral caliber that he can sit in judgment on all the rest of us.
Yeah. But that's not really true either. Like, no. Cisco doesn't really judge Dukat at all. Kira does. Kira's like, you suck.
Yes, greatly. But she has more experience too with him.
Yeah, and Cisco tries to be more diplomatic, and especially in the past, tried to be more diplomatic and have sort of an uneasy alliance with Dukat in the past. But he would definitely regrets that now.
But throughout this whole show, Dukat is always like, we're friends, and Cisco's always like, no.
We are not friends. Not friends, yeah.
So Dukat is some over-aggressive dude at the bar, and Cisco's girl is just trying to slow him down. It's like, no, I'm not interested. Remember that time I bought you that bottle of Kanar, and you drank it?
Yeah.
Good old days.
I think that Ducat sees them as like Xavier and Magneto kind of dichotomy, but like obviously Cisco does not. Just to tie it back to X-Men, Davan, you know.
Yeah, man. Ducat's just all like, what? You don't remember when me and you and Kira and Odo, we were always just hanging out and stuff, remember?
Like, they didn't really.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
Yeah.
Good times.
You know, he's like, what the hell do you want from me? I think is coming up here.
What the hell do you want from me?
It's great.
Man, maybe Brooks is the best.
Oh, it's so good here. And then we see all three of his like
operations
come up. He was like, I was trying to be better to the Bajorans.
It was a noble, if misguided, vision.
You know? He's like, do you want to do this here? Oh yeah, and Kira. She's like, oh yeah, we hated you. You know.
We never wanted peace. We hated you. We hated all of you.
It's like, anyway, the whole trial is what breaks down in this scene. It's so, you know, it's great. Where he's trying to explain how he had, you know, just wants to get to the truth.
Just you, me, and the truth.
He says,
You can't handle the truth.
He says, no more pretense, no more games. I'm just like,
Really?
he's like, that's what I like. It's like, no, that's not what you like at all. You love the pretense and the games.
The games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't handle the truth.
Oh, I love the Wayman line here too.
Who's gonna
Dominion would have never been so generous.
Who's gonna look after Bajor? You. They want me on that wall. They need me on that wall.
Exactly.
Because I will never give it to you.
Did you order the code red? You're damn right I did.
Just you, me, and the truth.
What do you know about the truth? You bend the truth into whatever shape suits you.
Like I can spell it.
Judge Cisco hands down another ruling. But where's his evidence?
Evidence. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Oh yeah, this is where he's got the three of them behind. This is amazing. Some of this stuff. It's so Shakespearean. This episode.
Yes.
The energy of this sequence is infectious. You cannot turn away. This is such an epic sequence. Great job to the editors. It did not feel like there was any lag. Everything just kept going, and like the energy was just moving from person to person. It was fantastic. This is like people should watch this, right? And I just mean in general. You want to make compelling like television. You're seeing the build up to this scene. You're seeing the build up, and you're just seeing two great performers just kill it. Kill it.
Yeah, and the supporting actors in this scene,
yes,
are great too. But yeah, these two in particular, the Waltz, as this episode is named, this is their waltz. You know, they're going back and forth,
off each other.
And this is the final act of that, where like we're gonna go through the thing. You know,
Judge Cisco hands down another ruling. But where's his evidence?
Where's his evidence? Okay, so Cisco gives it to him.
You were prefect of Bajor during the occupation, true or false? True. And you were responsible for everything that happened under your command. True or false? True. So that means that you are responsible for the murder of over 5 million Bajorans on your watch. True or false?
False. I tried to save lives during my administration.
Evidence!
Evidence! He wants evidence.
Oh, amazing.
So great.
Yeah, right there. That smile right there is the best shit ever.
That's the man that's enjoying fucking with Ducat.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do it to make you mad. I did it to fuck you up.
He's like, oh, I am going to excel this mental breakdown. No problem.
Yeah. He's like, listen, man.
By the time I became prefect, the occupation had been going on for almost 40 years.
40 years. He was child labor, guys.
Then I reorganized the camps themselves. Child labor was abolished. Medical care was improved. Food rations were increased. At the end of 1 month of my administration, the death rate had dropped by 20%.
20%, guys. How can
Two
you argue with those
lows.
numbers?
Two lows. Thank you, our Cardassian masters. Like,
Yeah, and then like Cisco really gets him here. He was like, I think this is where he's like, you were so generous to them. You could never have done something, right? And he's like, you're right. I should have killed them all. We were the superior
You
race.
hated them for it.
You hated them for it, didn't you? He's like, yeah.
From the moment we arrived on Bejor, it was clear that we were the superior race. They wanted to be treated as equals, when they most certainly were not. Militarily, technologically, culturally. We were almost a century ahead of them in every way.
A whole century, guys.
So wait, the Cardassians were ahead by a century. That's the only time you're gonna get something like that from me.
That was a big hit on Cardassia.
Yeah.
It's the part too where it just goes just like, why don't you think the Bajorans appreciated this benevolent leadership you were giving to them? He's just like, oh, because they were ignorant fools.
They were slandering him, guys.
I couldn't help but think of this having parallels to the indigenous people of this continent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have been vilified by ignorant, small-minded people throughout the quadrant.
For 6 years.
Yeah.
My name and reputation have been slandered and twisted.
Have they?
How dare they? That's the greatest, tragedy of all. Not the how many millions of Bajoran people that were murdered and under this occupation. My name slandered unjustifiably for 6 years
by the earrings and the wrinkled, broken noses.
The earrings and the broken, wrinkled noses.
Is there a single statue of me on Bejor?
Yeah, not one. And then he hits him with the pipe here, and then he's like, and that's why you're not an evil man, right? Where he's like, I should have killed them all. I should have burned them all, Hits him with the pipe. Cisco, no cast now either. He's just trying to make his way.
He probably beat it off of him. And then he took it off.
Yeah. Cisco's just going through a sandstorm here. It's not a great day for him.
It is. It is his best day. He is fucking loving this day.
Once he heals up, because he gets in the shuttle here, and he's starting to close the door. He's starting to make his way out, and I love the next part where Dukat just jumps in as the door's closing and tackles him, and wrestles him into the ground here.
Damn doors taking so long.
Yeah. And he punches him and gets the phaser on him, and he's like, do it! You got me in the nose here, Cisco. It's like, can't stop.
My favorite is when he gets all tussled up and then it just looks like he's got a bob.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Happens on the Cardassian hairs when they gets messed up. Yeah, and then he throws him out of the shuttle, guys. Beats him around a bit more. Holds him up, holds the phaser up to him, and basically leaves him here after a fashion.
Cisco was yelling one more round.
One more round.
Rocky 5. One more round.
Yeah, he beats him a few more times, and then he just basically gets up and leaves. And steals the shuttle, along with, and we see here he's still with his 3 companions. His madness continues, and the villain Dukat will be back, of course. but he doesn't kill Cisco here. He could have totally killed Cisco. Not only does he not kill Cisco, he calls the Defiant to tell them where he is.
Yes, because Cisco cannot die until he respects and loves Dukat.
Yeah, because he has to break him. He won't
Yes.
win until Cisco admits he was wrong. Right? Like there was that he said that back in like the previous episode he was in, where he was just like the you can't just kill them all, Wei-Un. You can't do that. You know?
Right.
You know?
You have to make them realize that they were wrong to oppose you in the first place.
That's right.
Exactly. You know. And then so he wakes up here in the infirmary with Dax, who's just, you know, he's just like, it was rough, and I was with pure evil, you know. Oh yeah, we're trying to find. She says we're trying to find the shuttle, and he was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna find him. Forget about it." Like he's too crafty. Which is see that. Wei-Un, yeah, here it is.
You can't do that.
Why not?
Because.
Because that's right. That's right. He was like, we just have to kill them all. You can't do that because. Sorry, guys. And anyway, so he's like, it was pure evil. We need to find him. And he just kind of takes a big breath. And the episode's over. Anyway, so that's the screenshots on Waltz. Sorry, I was trying to remember the episode name. Let's get into some fun facts, or also known as details discovered by Dave. Here we go, guys. This episode references an attempt on Dukat's life on Terek Nor within the first month of his administration, where someone places a bomb outside of his quarters. This might have been the attempt on his life of Kira Maru, as seen in the episode Wrongs Darker Than Death or Night, which we haven't gotten to yet.
I hate that episode.
Me too.
Hate it.
Can't wait to trash that when we get to it. Okay, when the attack on the USS Honshu begins, the officer's voice heard over the comm orders the crew to battle stations and to damage control teams to report to level 5J. This is an unusual statement, as it is customary aboard Federation starships of this era for the various forward levels of the ship to be referenced as deck, followed by its numerical position with the superstructure and its comparative location amongst the other decks, i.e. Deck 5 would be located 4 levels below Deck 1. One possible explanation for term 5J could be that the officer was referring to the area within the upper pod, also known as the mission pod on the Nebula-class starship. This pod is located upward of the bridge, usually referred to as Deck 1. Alternative designations may have been assigned to the interiors of the ship of this section. Was that interesting, guys?
Very.
I think you might need a minute, Dave. You were smiling through that whole thing.
I was. That was good. I was like, I know all this. This is the second DS9 episode in a row to use a light redress of the Voyager brig set. Oh yeah, so that was what they used. Both shows were going on. It appears as the brig of the USS Honshu after being as the brig at the Star Base in the previous episode. No Armin Shimmerman or Cyril Lofton, Quark and Jake Sisko in this episode.
This might be the only episode without Quark.
Maybe one of them. The Type 6 shuttlecraft makes its first DS9 appearance in this episode, although it had appeared in other things. And what else? Aubergenois, René Aubergenois, also known as Odo, he commented he was very proud of the episode. If you talk to me after each episode I direct, I'll probably say that episode is my favorite, the best I've done, the most well-directed. But just experienced the work of Avery Brooke and Mark Alimo on Waltz was wonderful. It was a challenge to do because it was basically 2-character show. On the other hand, it was simple because I didn't have a lot of special effects to deal with. We didn't have 100 extras, but it was a challenge too on another kind of making 2 people talking exciting television. So I don't think they succeeded. Mark Alimo liked it. Terrific piece. Stories that like that are usually reserved for regulars, and I was flattered that they wrote it for me. They gave me a lot of responsibility, so I was glad to see that everything actually worked out. That it was all pulled together. They allowed me a lot of chance with a character like Dukat. I get to express so many aspects of myself and him that I don't always get a chance to in real life. Okay.
This is weird shit like that all the time.
That's problematic, Ducat. I'm very grateful that they trust me enough to write an episode like that for me. It means that, like, that they respect my work, and it makes a huge difference. Okay. Well,
if Ducat's character was in lesser hands, this episode would absolutely fall apart. There's no way that this could be done.
yeah, no, absolutely. This episode sets the stage for the final showdown between Sisko and Ducat in the series finale, What You Leave Behind. Indeed, after this episode, they would not see one another again until their final confrontation in the fire caves in the finale. Okay, yeah, I hadn't really thought about that. But yeah, this is... They don't...
Yeah. He confronts Bane in the streets like Batman.
Yeah, okay. Originally, this episode was to be structured similarly to the third season episode, Distant Voices, with the regular crew appearing as different aspects of Ducat's personality. According to Ronald D. Moore, Waltz began as a story we called Ducat's Head around the office. The notion was for Sisko to go visit Ducat in the mental hospital, and while Sisko was trying to engage in a catatonic Cardassian conversation, we would push in on Ducat's face and then go inside his head and show us the fantasy life he was living. The story would have gone into the past, dealt with his Bajoran mistresses, his rise to power, his treatment of the Bajorans, and even the fantasy life he was trying to construct for himself on Terok Nor with Kira as his wife and himself as a beloved leader of the Cardassian and Bajoran
And there
alliance.
definitely would have been a tandem bike.
We struggled with the storyline for quite a while, but we never found a way to make it compelling. Eventually, we noticed that the scenes we liked best were just ones where in a hospital room where Sisko and Ducat, and we decided to toss out everything but that. So,
And then make the rest of the episode.
yeah, and then they threw in the hallucinations from the inside his head into like Wayun and Damar and Kira, basically, and that's how that ended up in the episode. So, all right, I think that's good for the details discovered. Let's get over to our ratings. Okay.
Jeff, what do you rate it?
Jeff, what do you think? No, he's not here. Okay, I'll go next. This is a 10, easy 10. Completely memorable.
Dave lays down another judgment.
Yeah. Jaemeel, are you going 10? He's going 10.
That's a 10. Okay.
I had to look. I had to turn my head and go, oh, he's doing it with his fingers. Kevin?
Yeah, you can't go any less than a 10
Yeah.
on those performances.
Davan?
This would be 11. Oh.
It's more like 6. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's a 10. So this will definitely be in the top 10 DS9 episodes when we
Deservingly so.
I think Jeff gives this a 10 too.
Yeah, he would, but okay. And then
He's like, I didn't like the Bashir segments.
Could have been
Sorry?
10s. You guys were low on those ones.
Which
Maybe
one?
the
Sorry.
Golden Sacrifice of Angels. Those could have been 10s. You guys were all pretty low. on
Let's
those.
go back to the list again. Let's
Sure.
bring it back.
Sacrifice of Angels, I gave it a 9.4. It was pretty good.
Yeah, all right. But still,
No.
you know, those could
No.
have been 10s.
What's your rating on Sacrifice of Angels?
Oh, shit. I could go 10s on both of those ones.
Oh, I wasn't on those ones.
I gave it a 9. That's good. Like, what's wrong with a 9?
Yeah, it can be a 9.
Sacrifice
That's
of
fine.
Angels. I think I'd give both those a 10 too. Those are great.
Just bringing up the average.
Yeah, there we go. See, I feel better now.
Well,
I can
season
rest in
6.
peace.
Season 6 is still hurting though from the inclusion of Resurrection, still sitting at a
Look,
1.3.
I don't care what anyone says. Damn that episode.
Yeah, damn it. It's the worst.
It's bad.
I gave it a 0, and I feel that might be high.
I have the high note on the 2.5 that I gave it. I don't know if that was the right thing. Yeah, the season's doing well so far, guys. Sitting at an 8.3, despite Resurrection, which is, I think, a compliment to it.
Jeff and I are the lowest rating.
Overall? Yeah, our all-time ratings, which are still in the 7s, ironically, because we had those first 2 seasons were just like,
But we're the same in terms of this season, 8.2.
yeah, and like in season 4, it really picks up. Like you can see with our ratings there. Season 3 is kind of this middle transition season too.
Yeah, outside of season 2, it's been going up for me since the beginning.
Yeah. So hey, looking ahead, the next episode, guys, is called "Who Mourns for Morn."
Yep.
That's a good one. Pretty good one.
Pretty good one. Not as good as this one, I would say,
No.
but it's a good one. Definitely a fun one. It's a mystery. You know?
Did they submit this for Emmy consideration?
This episode?
They've had to.
Yeah, I would hope so. I don't think it won though. Like
But I my question wasn't necessarily about its deserving, like its ability to win or not, or it deserving to win or not. Just did they push for it at the very least? I'm talking about like Paramount in general. Like, did they push for it? Is what the interesting thing is. What did they think was worthy so far this season to be submitted? Regardless of if it was worthy or not, is the question I'm
there's no mention of it
information.
anywhere.
Sorry.
Unfortunately,
You haven't discovered it, Dave. I understand.
It's not one of the details discovered by Dave,
Yep.
but it can be put into our research log, which we will get to in the near future. Okay, guys. So that's Waltz. We loved it. It was a great episode. Great review. 10s all around. How can you be not happy about that? So Who Mourns for Morn is next. We're chugging almost halfway through season 6 now. So we got a season and a half left basically to go here on D Space 9. So we hope you'll be with us as we continue this saga, almost coming up on 3 years since we started.
Wow.
I guess next week Christmas? No, not yet.
No, we're 12 days away, I believe.
So no, but the week after that, I guess would be. But we'll see. Anyway, so we hope we're having a good December. Check out that Storm interview once it's up right now, Davan.
Not up yet. No, we're doing a quick edit.
Okay, they're doing a quick edit, guys. So once the edit's done, check that out.
It's not editing right now.
But it will be
It
on
is,
the X-rated.
just not by me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's not the editor.
No.
Andre, the editor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure he's doing a great job. So okay,
Oh
guys.
no, it's causing me some trouble.
All right. Well, hey, let's Jaemeel, help us get back on track here. What's going on here?
Whoa! We just did
what I do.
X-rated. We did the X-rated plug, but you like the X-Men? What are the X-Men? They're comic books, and what is the best thing about comic books? Graphic novels, graphic histories, podcasts.
That's the best thing.
Yeah, best thing. Interviews galore by your friend, mine, Andre. Right. The last interview we had was from the creator of Night of the Living Dead. Right, Davan, am I correct in that?
Yep. Co-writer of that.
Co-writer, yes.
And the newest guest is a cameraman who worked on The Shining and other things.
Yes, The Shining. Yes, definitely.
The Shining.
Yes. So check that out. But The Shining, where was The Shining referenced in? Oh, KBBL.
Oh, wow.
Right?
These segues.
What? This is what I do.
Screen was on fire.
So please check that out. Every Friday, I believe, right? Every Friday?
Yeah, every Friday.
Yeah.
On this Friday?
Sneak it in before radio theater on this. Yeah. I can do it
Don't
all.
tire out your vocal cords though. Make sure you're ready.
What
Will not
episode?
laugh too hard.
We're on
We're on
episode
episode 4.
Yeah.
Davin doesn't have to do any singing. It's fine.
He has some laughing to do. He doesn't have to row your boat though, like I do.
No, that's true.
But you're gonna meet Kevin in the desert. You're gonna go. You wouldn't kill me for some holes in the desert, would you? You know.
It's all I have.
All I have. Give me your pain. Give me your pain now.
Well, speaking of pain, we'll see tomorrow if Dave will be in pain because we got the finals of the Survivor draft happening, and If one person wins, that leads to a Gilligan's Island podcast. You can see what's going to happen on the Super Mater Brothers podcast.
Yeah, Sam. So yeah, we're gonna see how this plays out. You got a great chance. I think Jesse. There's a better chance than not he's going to win this because he's guaranteed Final Four because he has the immunity idol, and then even if he ends up in a fire making challenge, like he can still win his way there. So I think if he sits at the end, he wins.
We don't know. We're left with a great season of Survivor. If you haven't been watching, you know what? Quickly catch up. I think we might be in for something special. Who knows? Even if it ends up being a complete garbage episode, you'll see Dave doing a touchdown dance because he avoids, the troublesome Gilligan's Island, stipulation hanging over his head. Yeah. Or we can see Dave crying in defeat in a corner, right? Slain by Sir Sam. Who's just waiting. He's licking his chops. He's like, I can just bite into it. Right? Super Mater Brothers podcast, reviews, covering television, movies. They did Beatles Get Back just earlier this year. It's a great series. You should watch those couple of episodes. Just watch them all. Just, you know what? Just put them on random. Download all the episodes. Listen to it. It's great. Big Brother, Survivor. Watch it. It's great. We're going to try to go as live as early tomorrow night for the Survivor finale. Afterwards, I'm not sure I have time to pull any sounds or anything really because we're going on at 11 because it's a late night. So Dave, you do so much. Take a chill. Just watch it.
We have the whole season.
I know. So. You have a whole seasons of sound, right? Now there could be the sound of crying. Like you're in hell, like the Hellbound podcast, which is also on Wednesdays, right? With Alex Blackburn and Michael Chan. Horror movies, check it out, watch it every Wednesday.
Listen, it's an audio podcast.
Audio podcast. So, I just assume people are watching it. They're not seeing me wave my hands in the air like I'm, like I'm doing some moves. Yeah. Like doing moves like it's a fighting game. Like we can just talk about fighting games. Let's talk about fighting games. Not an official member of United Federation of Podcasts, but still a friend of the podcast, right? You have Paranoia, Super Smash Brothers Seth, and you have good friend, Mr. Sam Jerka, right? Yeah. So they're going to be talking about, what was that, Guilty Gear Strive. So check that out. They're probably going to talk about the Game Awards in a future episode. So definitely check them out. And you're obviously tuned into this wonderful podcast, which is part of Live Long and Podcast logo.
Live Long. Yeah.
Which is a collection of members all brought together to bring you quality Trek content, right? You have subsections like the I'm running out of steam here, folks.
No, you're doing great. Keep going. It's like I take a break. I've paused my run right now. It's
Devin, I'm passing the baton to you. Do a little magic work. Come on.
We got the command division where we had, like we did tonight. We reviewed the shows, the movies, the drama, the waltzes, if you will. There's also, speaking of performances like waltzes, we have the ops division where we do Star Trek radio theater. And on Friday, check it out. I'm gonna be Cybok. I'm gonna make you all believe that God needs a starship.
Yes.
We also got, we got Murphy as Kirk. We got, what a cast. There's a science division there. We just did Trouble with Trivia in that very division on Sunday.
And Dave didn't win.
I wasn't an official contestant.
Doesn't matter.
Semantics.
Oh, and look, there's Locutors of Trek.
Yes.
Locutors of Trek is a brand of Trek material where we talk. We ask the big questions like, "Where's my Beatle snuff?"
stuff like that. Yeah.
So I think a good question to ask is, why does the Federation have so few ships?
Space is big. That's the answer. I think.
Well, I don't know.
Hold up, there's a movie podcast tomorrow night.
Ooh.
Did we talk about that? Did I miss that?
We did miss that one, and we also missed Trivial Debates.
Oh yeah, hold up tomorrow night. Christmas movies. I still have to watch Tokyo Godfathers.
Ooh, you're in for a treat. Oh my gosh, in for a treat.
The Apartment was not a treat.
From the 60s?
Yeah. It's kind of the worst. I'll talk about it tomorrow, though.
It's not Southland Tales worst.
No. It's not.
So, Southland Tales was covered in a previous episode, so you should also check that out, right? And then you'll be primed for this upcoming episode of Hold Up. Excited. I'm excited for all the episodes of Hold Up. I'm a fan.
Oh, good.
Don't forget, Jaemeel. Trivial Debates coming this Saturday morning.
Ho, ho, ho. Right? Now he's got trivia. Can't wait. Look at that. It's a murderer's row.
Slowcock Bennett coming in for his Trivial Debates debut. This 9 a.m. coming from Australia. We got Max Duda. And we got, of course, Davan Skelhorn ready to compete. We got what's the most timeless Christmas movie that any current or future generation will enjoy for the foreseeable future? What's the best one-off Christmas special made for the small screen?
Ooh.
What's the best rendition of?
I know.
What's the best rendition of Little Drummer Boy?
Okay.
Obviously.
And what's the most heartwarming film featuring a winter sport? What's the best?
Another
holiday?
obvious one. I got all the right answers here.
Winter sport.
I called for a sweep.
That's okay. I'm interested to see what people pull for him.
What's the best holiday outside of Christmas? And what's the best, but also most underappreciated Christmas movie? Something not always thought of as a Christmas movie. That's our wild card question. So,
did you stipulate that you can't use Die Hard for that answer?
No, I did not stipulate it.
Okay.
It may be in play. I can't reveal this.
Curling for all my answers. That's why I'm going to win.
You could have picked men with brooms for your sports answer.
Yeah. But folks, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It is. It's factual.
Yeah, there's even two of them.
Adam had a visceral reaction on the Enterprise podcast last night where he was just like, "No, this debate's over. I don't want to hear about it anymore."
Yeah, he just doesn't want to talk about
it. What was John McClane's wife's first name?
Shirley?
Holly.
Right?
Shirley MacLaine? No, is that someone else?
No, it's Holly McClane.
Yeah, Shirley MacLaine's in The Apartment, which is a terrible movie.
Hold up and see it.
Hold up. Yeah. Segways are on fire tonight.
Oh, I love it.
Well, we've talked about everybody here that you should check out. I think that's the end of the plugs. I think we can end it for tonight. Thanks for being with us. If you're still with us, we'll see you on the next podcast, whatever one that might be for you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Land the plane, Dave. Land the plane.
I'm going to play a quote. What the hell am I playing? Here we go. Evidence.
Of course I hated them. I hated everything about him. Their superstitions and their cries for sympathy, their treachery and their lies, their smug superiority and their stiff-necked obstinacy, their earrings and their broken, wrinkled noses. I should have killed every last one of them. I should have turned their planet into a graveyard the likes of which the galaxy had never seen. I should have killed them all. And that is why you're not an evil man.
Live like a podcast. See you next time.